It's my wife's. It's the only one that like fits in my car. Nobody online cares about this. Yeah.
I care, Mike.
Gotcha. All right. Let's get started. We have everybody knows Tressie, I'm gonna believe Tressie Brown and that, but just Tressie. We have Jessica LaRosa as well. If you haven't met her, she's actually licensed with us as a real estate agent, but she's also been with our property management company for a year, maybe longer-ish. Okay. So Tressie and Jessica are here, obviously to join our meeting as agents, but we just went to Janesville and we're finally at the point now where through trial and error, we have a really good solid team that can, we want to expand outside of the Beloit market. So Tressie, one of her very first big clients was this awesome landlord named Mike Marquette. And then, then through the power team, she's picked up quite a few properties as well. And then a couple other people in this office, but we're now at the point where we're trying to expand our services, not only just in this Beloit market, but into the Janesville market through trial and error. When affiliated, and I always laugh about this, when we roll something out, we typically screw it up right away because we start it and then we say, okay, let's go send it to everybody and have anybody would like to use that service. And it's not beta tested. It's not, we haven't went through the ups and downs. Well, we've done that and the team is really moving forward efficiently and has a good staff. So I just wanted to introduce Tressie and let her tell you a little bit about what's going on with property management. And therefore, if any of you have people when they're looking for, hey, do you have somebody that could either manage, I'm going to move and I want my house to be a rental, or I've got a couple rental properties, but I'm moving out of the area, or I just am sick of managing my own, because Beloit does have a lot of people that manage their own properties. We do have an option for them other than sending them to like Marianne Walker or the guy from Pineapple Realty that are in our market. And quite frankly, probably would rather not be in our market, where we have somebody sitting right here in our market that can service those things. So Tress, do you want to come up and give your 3 to 4 minute spiel and then any questions?
No. Hello, people online. So we did send out an email last week. I don't know if you all received it, but Affiliated Property Management has decided to change their name. And so we are now Waypoint Property Management. This was all part 2 of our growth and wanting to make this announcement all at the same time. So we're Waypoint Property Management Services now. We're no longer Affiliated Property Management Services, but the only thing that has really changed is just the name. Same new owners, same workers, same property managers. So nothing's really changed in that aspect. They just wanted to give us a fresh new start with a new name. So I didn't know if any of you had questions with that, because I know that at least the Beloit office has been more familiar with affiliated property management than any other office. I do know that there has been some conferences and such that have put affiliated property management up on the screen, but we haven't really been able to service those areas, so we're just not as popular there. The majority of our clients are here in Beloit. We do have a couple in Janesville, and we do have a good handful out of Madison, but Beloit is our main focus. This is also really good timing because we did have a big owner decide that they wanted to downsize their portfolio. So we have a lot less units than what we've had in the past, which makes it perfect timing for you to offer our services to your clients because we have the availability to take on those properties. One thing that I am big on is that we will not take on clients unless we're able to service them in the right way. One thing that is, well, with me having a history and knowledge with property management, basically my entire life, a lot of people prefer to manage their own properties, even if they're not comfortable doing it, just because they've heard so many horror stories with property management companies. So one thing that Waypoint wants to do is make sure that we are not a company that will bring on everybody and anybody as fast as possible in order to bring so much money in the door. We really want to make sure that service is 100% accurate and good, and our clients are happy. If our clients are happy, typically they're going to be your clients, so your clients are happy. We are definitely here to support the agents in Century 21 affiliated. We work with Century 21 affiliated agents primarily. So we do want to make sure that we can help you keep your clients, continue having contact with your clients, and hopefully then continue build your business. So one thing that we'll do with any referrals that you send to us, we do automatically refer those clients back to you. So then you can continue working with them and continue having communication with them. If it's okay with the owner, you are also welcome to contact us about the properties even after the property has been sold, referred to us, and we have taken them on as their services. If for whatever reason your client feels more comfortable speaking with you than with us about any questions. We are, with the new name rollout, rolling out a referral program for agents. There's actually 2 brochures up here. One kind of gives you a lowdown of what our primary services are, but this one specifically is a referral program. What we are offering to agents is for every property or door, you will receive $150 referral the referral commission, I'm sorry, just referral fee. For anyone that signs up for full service property management, there is a cap for each individual owner for 2,500, but it is for just that owner. So it's not for every single owner that you refer to us, it's just for that one owner. So if you have a big client that has enough doors that will reach that cap, then you will get that $2,500. And if you have a second client that has just as much, you'll get another $2,500. So it is not a part of your commission split, so you will receive that full amount.
What? What does it refer a renter?
Right now, we don't have anything for that, just because we've just gotten to a place where when it comes to tenants, they have to go through all the same screening process that we normally do. So we don't have tenant referrals right now. That doesn't mean that's something that we won't do in the future. So.
How busy are you guys in the Madison area? Do you have a lot of properties in Madison, or is most of your business in Rock County area?
Most of the business is in Rock County, but we do have probably a good handful of single family homes in Madison.
There are quite a few other property management companies in the Madison area then?
Yes,
Some monster ones,
yeah.
Okay.
which is actually good for us because they don't get the attention sometimes they need. So for example, like the company that they just acquired is Oakland Properties up in Madison, and they handle like a ton of college placements. Which could you imagine the nightmare that would be? There's kids coming in every semester, half semester, and to clean out and
really suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to a place yet where we've really discussed and want to roll out that the company did purchase Oakland Property Management. They are going to be Waypoint Property Management. It's just that was a recent acquisition. So that's something that we haven't really put out there yet to everyone.
So what's Open Property Management again?
It's
just
another
company
property
in Madison.
Yeah.
In Madison.
Yep, it's a property management company that's already been established in Madison that does a lot of student housing, some multi-units. So that's one thing we are going to merge. And they are going to be Waypoint Property Management, but we're still kind of onboarding everyone and getting them settled into our system. So we're hoping that with bringing them on, they'll be able to have the expertise in those areas, and myself and Jessica and any other property manager that we bring on will definitely give the attention to single family homes or up to 4-unit homes. So then we can service all types of.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a vision as to
Yeah.
how big the Open, Wayfair.
Waypoint Property Management, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just heard it just now.
Yeah, so right now I'm gonna say that Jessica and I have approximately 80 units. At one point we were up to about 140. So we definitely have the bandwidth to bring on more clients. So please feel free to refer them, so then you can get your referral fee. And we can help service your clients and
Question.
help you.
You only do family homes?
Single family homes.
Single family?
Right now, we only do single family homes. I'm willing to take up to a 20-unit just because I have experience with a 20-unit. I don't have much experience with something bigger than that because there are a lot of other requirements that come along with those larger complexes. that's something that we will definitely offer in the future. It's just right now, we are still kind of expanding and I'm only comfortable taking up to a 20 unit.
About a commercial, you know, like a mixed commercial where, two of the floors are for commercial use and then the top floor is like, an apartment.
Yeah, that's something that we could look into. Absolutely. So really anything that you have, if you have someone that's interested in new property management, either between myself, Jessica, or the Oakland Waypoint Property Management Company, with their experience, we could probably put something together in order to service them. Any other questions? Concerns? Well, most of you have my phone number. You know how to get a hold of me. We are gonna leave our brochures here, so please take some. You can give them to your clients, just for general information, so then they know how to reach us. And then just give us a call if you guys have anything else that you need. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thanks.
All right. I got lots of cool stuff today. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Buckle up. All right. July 11th from 1 to 4. I told you guys the 9th. Incorrect. July 11th from 1 to 4. Emily Grove, Kathy Grove, Emily, these names don't matter to you. They're essential service people that come down. They're specifically going to do workshops, and it's mostly going to be about marketing, social media, and how to promote and present yourself in this market using different types of social media platforms, as well as different tools and systems that Affiliate has available for you and Century 21. They asked me, like, what is the biggest thing that the agents could take away if we came down into a workshop? They'll cover anything, but they're going to be coming down. They're going to go to Roscoe first. So if you can't make the 1 to 4 here, they're going to be in Roscoe from 9 to 11:30 on the 11th, going over that information with those agents. They're going to be then coming here from 1 to 4. And they also, yep, we can go in and out. Yeah, that's just the day ahead. Yep. And then does anybody here come talk to me afterwards? They want to do some videos actually with like the Studio A, which is their marketing department, of kind of like talking to some agents, testimonials, some things that they can then basically, it takes about 15 minutes, ask questions, talk about the company and our offices and our market. And I'll give anybody that wants to do a content, and they're going to make a little montage video of like our offices down in this area that we can start posting on our Facebook pages. So you see a lot of the stuff that Dan and Sam Bell and Jason Schrock do, those videos. We wanted to have more of a local flair because nobody knows who they are around here. So it's just kind of like, who are these people? So if we could have our own agents, some from Roscoe, a couple from here, we probably need 4 total. If anybody's interested, come and let me know. I can't have everybody in it, but if somebody is really feels like I'm really good online and love to have a video of myself and see myself talking and answering questions. If nobody wants to, I'm just gonna force somebody to do it or anybody else. So come to me personally. Yep, come to me personally, privately, and then we'll figure it out from there. So it's the 11th from 1 to 4. Everybody got the email and everybody's confused. When I say everybody, most of our agents know what's going on. Did you get the email that by July 1st, commission remarks need to be out of the remarks section? So a lot of agents think that that means they need to get rid of the commission that they're being offered where it says sub-agent, buyer agent. That's not the case right now. They want you to start, because by August 15th, so July 1st, August 15th, they're hoping that people will start to take out the remarks, because on the 15th, the commission field will be gone. So those remarks that say, like, if you're a member of South Central Wisconsin, we'll pay you 3. If you're an outside member, it's 2.4, whatever, any commission remarks that are actually in the remarks section, they want you to start taking those out. They set a deadline in July 1st. That's not the case. It needs to be out by the 15th, but they want everybody to have it done by the 15th, because what will happen if you don't on the 15th, that field will go away and a bunch of agents are going to forget to take those commission remarks out of the remarks. Does that make sense to everybody? Moving forward, and we'll do training on this. And I know that Wade will do a compliance Thursday. I think we talked about this last time, but they are allowing us, because when we go to our actual listing appointments with our sellers, we have to explain exactly how much they pay the listing broker, and if they want to, and is there a number that they'll offer out for compensation to a buyer's agent. So that'll be part of that contract. There's also going to be a section, are you willing to offer out any concessions to any type of buyer? It can be a dollar amount, or it can be a percentage amount. We, as an MLS, because it's within the NAR settlement, are gonna allow our agents to put in the remarks, both public and private, however you want to do it. They believe putting it in the public is more transparent, but you can put in there that the seller is willing to offer a buyer concession of either X% of the purchase price or $5,000, $10,000, whatever that, but it's not supposed to be for commission.
So we can say, all we're doing is swapping out the word commission for concession.
We cannot say that, but we can hint at the fact.
So can I say seller, wink, wink, motivated, wink, wink seller? That should be enough, right?
Yep, or you can tell the seller, in my business practice, I find it in your best interest. You should offer out compensation to the buyer's agent. I just can't put it on the MLS. So I can verbally or in writing, in an email, I can let anybody that's going to show this or anybody that calls me, if you give me permission, I can tell them that yes, you're willing to offer out a commission or compensation. It could be yes, yes, the answer is yes, we're willing to negotiate in compensation, bring me an offer, or it could be yes, we're offering out X%. So whatever that seller will agree to, and it will be in your contract. Or they may say, you know what, I don't want to offer out a compensation, but I'm willing to offer out a buyer concession. Then you as a buyer's agent can say to your client, listen, they're willing to offer out a concession. Your closing costs typically are about 2 to 2.5% of the purchase price. Why don't we ask them to pay for your closing costs? Your seller paid buyer's closing costs. That way I can ask for a commission in my offer. So it's going to be really, really annoying to answer your question. So we're going to have mandatory training on the new forms are on DSPS. Has anybody seen them on zip forms yet?
No.
Okay, they are done and they are finalized. So they should be coming out here soon. The second they are, we're going to have mandatory training in the office. We're going to have several different sessions led by me. We're going to go over how do you actually go over this listing contract with your seller and what type of scripts and language should you use. Yep. And then we're also going to do the buyer, because the buyer agency, for you to work with a client, you're going to have buyer agency, and you're going to have to explain to them how you get paid, which my payment is coming from you, but I will negotiate within the offer for my compensation. That way you don't have to pay any of that. If for whatever reason I cannot get a compensation from the seller, this is what happens. Okay. So we'll go through trainings on both of these. Okay. So nobody bang your head just yet. Once those forms are actually out, then we'll go over them line by line in that compensation piece. Questions?
So obviously by August 17th or whatever, we have to have a buyer's agency with each client that before we show a property to them.
Technically, no. No, well, technically you can still meet the state law supersedes what's going on. And this is what Wade's compliance mean. They're going to confirm this, that because we still have sub agency.
Right.
So technically we can meet the client, still show it, but before we start to engage in any type of compensate or any type of offer or negotiation, we have to have that in place. And if you don't have a buyer agency in place, then what? So that's what they're still working on. So does that client have to go to the seller direct? So that's one of the things they are still working on, and we'll have absolute clear, they said, within the week. So, yep. So let's not get into the details on that because we don't have an answer to that yet. Okay. But I would just get into the practice of getting a buyer. Right now, our form already states with a buyer agency what percentage they owe us. Like, for example, they go buy for you have to write in your buyer agency a percentage of what they owe us. So we already have buyer agency. You might as well get one now. And then if there has to be a new one or modified, we'll do that when it comes out.
Would you suggest getting it before you even set up the search?
Some people won't agree to it. Some people want to meet you first. Some people want to find out who you are. They want to CCAP you. So right now, business as usual until the August 15th, 17th deadline. So 17th, I believe. Yeah.
So for those of us that get a lot of online leads of people that want to go see properties, I mean, I would love to get everyone on that contract to be an agency contract on that first showing. They don't know us yet. And they don't
The
know
good news is you're going to have to say, you may have heard about this in our settlement. I have to have an agency relationship to work with you. And if you call somebody else, they're going to have one with you too. So it's your choice.
That's all I think.
those seller concessions, when you go to list a property. And that seller is willing to pay 2.5, 3, whatever they end up, deciding to pay a buyer agent. we can put that in the listing stating that it's a buyer concession.
Mhm.
And the buyer's choosing to, can you choose to use that towards our compensation, right?
Yes and no, but yes, yes. The answer is yes,
The
technically.
buyers that actually do need assistance with closing costs are gonna be the ones that get screwed if the seller's not.
Will
willing.
struggle, yep. And then we as a company are gonna have to come up with, and we have not yet, a minimum standard of what happens if I can't get any compensation from the seller. What are we, because I don't want agents going out and say, well, you know, I'll do it for $500. So we will have to have a minimum standard of what our value is worth for us to work with a buyer that we can't go below. Because again, I don't want it to be a Wild Wild West where a buyer calls me and says, how much will you charge me if you can't get a commission? And they call Cindy and Cindy goes, I'll do it for $300, you know, and I told her $2,500, or you know, whatever it is. I'm just using an example. So we will come out with that as well as part of our training. So, but we're getting close. We just need to, that's why I hated that they rushed this so fast, but we're held to the mercy of what's going on right now. So there will be more to come on that. Everybody got their assessments in the mail, property tax assessments? Any clients call you and freak out? Please send me a market. I want to contest this. Problem you're going to have is most of this stuff, it's pretty accurate. So it's going to be difficult to contest it and get any type of reprieve from the new assessment. I would probably tell everybody I wouldn't freak out because I promise the mill rate probably will go down. Your taxes will fluctuate like they always have, up and down a little bit. I'm guessing up a little bit this time around. But if you do have people that call you and they want a market analysis, I think they have till the middle of July. If that sounds right. I think on average, what did the assessments go up 30% across the board or something like that? Yeah, it's been 2 years since I did the last one. Before that, I think it was 10 years. Previously, it sounds like moving forward, if this market continues to be a hot market, the city sees that they're going to keep assessing this every 2 years. That's what it looks like to me. So.
Do they feel the new assessments are close to 100% value?
From what I've seen with the ones I've gotten, like all my rentals, they're way closer to market value than they were before. Yeah, I mean, like dramatically closer. So.
Has anybody had phone calls from clients or even experienced yourself the insurance rates
Yep.
going up?
They're all like 27% across the board, and they're not going to slow down. Yep.
149.
Yep. And then what I would tell every one of you, if you have any landlords, Acuity, Germantown, West Bend, all of them, if you miss a payment on your insurance, like especially when your annual premium comes up, they're non-renewing them. They do not want anything to do with rental properties right now. And in any of your large Cincinnati, any of the big ones, insurance carriers right now. So tell your landlords, don't miss that payment. You will get non-renewed immediately. So there's like 8 or 9 guys I know that because they're lazy, they didn't make their payment. And now they have the only way they're going to get insurance is they're going to have to probably pay 3 times what they paid before. So, and most of them now, they don't insure your roof and a lot of other things, especially with these rental properties. So, moving on, you guys saw the email from me. They're demoing the old Fat Wallet building there. So that will come down, and that's going to be end of July, beginning of August. It probably, I think they said a 3-week window-ish. The bridge will be not shut down, but parking on the bridge during that period. So find alternate parking while that's going on. I don't think you'd want your car there anyways if they're knocking down a big building. So that will be taking place. Some other things going on. I went to the Beloit 200 meeting down at Hidden Creek. Has anybody been to Hidden Creek in South Beloit or Rockton? It's actually really, really nice. It's a great venue. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's very pretty. Carrie Frank and Dude Frank own it, the ones that owned Comply 365. But we had our meeting there, and some of the things they're talking about, we had the city manager there, the city manager of South Beloit, and then a bunch of other people, the police department. So the police department, they were talking about crime. And sales, chief sales is there, and this actually kind of surprised me because I guess I just don't know what's going on. How many homicides do you think there was in Beloit last year?
50, 12.
1.
Oh.
How many the year before?
45.
2. So we read all this negative news about Beloit. 1 homicide, and then 2 the year before. They've had 1 this year. They have in the last year they compensated 178 unregistered weapons during stops. What else was it? Most of their calls are, believe it or not, half of their calls, which they get 54,000 calls a year, which is equivalent to what normally a 200,000 population city would get. They get about the same in Beloit number of calls as you would get if you had a population of 200,000, where we have 36,000, 37,000. Most of them are neighbor disputes, fighting with each other. Literally, he said they get calls where that guy, he mowed his lawn and his clippings are in my yard because that's not the type of grass. He goes, it's unbelievable. The neighbor complaints they get fighting with each other. He goes, if everybody get along, that half of our calls would go down.
Left would be cars hitting houses.
Yeah, right. Another big thing that they're working on specifically downtown, which would help us, is, I guess throughout the whole community, is more traffic stops. They sit there and they don't have it. Now they have enough people that are out in the field, but how many people actually roll up and like stop at a stoplight in the walk path where you're walking and they don't look right or left? And how many people almost get hit every time they start to walk and a car will pull up and stop. But they're really improving things, and they're only 4 police short from what they would like to for their minimum requirement, where before there's almost like 10 to 12. And they are doing a request for proposal to get in the next couple of years, a new police station not in that location. So they'll be moving that at some point, making it a little bit more centralized. But really good things coming from Chief Sales and the whole. Oh, and they did talk about the drug epidemic that's taking place in our area. They said it's very unique from what they used to fight. It used to be you'd have the drug house in Beloit and everybody knew what it was and you just tried to catch them. He goes, now it's all like transitory and it's remote. It's people coming from Rockford, Chicago, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis that are coming in here and basically bringing in the drugs and leaving. So it's not where you have these big drug rings within the city. It's people that are coming in. And so they're really starting to work with, they're actually got a task force working with the FBI and how to stop some of this stuff. So there's a lot of good information, but positive information, to be honest with you. So other things from Beloit 200.
Mike?
Yep.
Did they report how many incidents of shots fired?
Yep. There was last year, there was only 14. The year before there was 156, but I think one of the shootings had like 80 rounds in one shooting. So like that might throw it.
That's what they report on the
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. So not nearly as many as you'd think. Did I talk about this last? Maybe I didn't. The city's come out with a curb appeal forgiveness loan. Did I talk about that? Up to $1 million. It's income based. So people that need a forgivable loan to improve the facade, the roof, whatever of their property in blighted areas, the city's coming up with a little bit of a grant program that they can apply and fix up their house. And as long as they live there for a certain amount of years, it's a forgivable loan. That's good. They've identified specific areas that they really like the houses to look a little nicer. So there's $1 million forgiveness loan program that's coming out. Housing, the Western Hills, which is up by the 23 lots up by Woodman's. You guys familiar with those? That went out for bid. You could buy them for $1. Acadia Homes actually got that. And so they will have housing that's going to be between 1,200 and 1,400 square feet. And roughly it's going to be under $300,000. So that's what they consider affordable housing these days. So they wanted that built out over the next 2 years. Apparently the 2 or 3 they've already built are already under contract or started to build. So you got 23 lots, which that means 23 single family homes up and behind up by Knollview, Stayborn up there. Down here, there was a upper second level apartment grant program, and they had 13 new units that will be in here by this time next year. So upper second level, which I believe is probably what happened with the building next to us when they were working on the upstairs. So it'd be 13 new rental units down here. The old YMCA, I'm having deja vu. Have I talked about this? No? Okay, sorry. The old YMCA, that is going to have 52 affordable housing rental units, which means market rent. So 52, it's a let's see, what do they call it? They got a low income housing tax credit, and it's the Lutheran Social Services. So it's like a nonprofit that's building those, which I don't know how a nonprofit builds something, but yeah, 6 million total. Yeah. So there'll be 52 new units with a grant program of $3 million from the city out on the old YMCA. And then Eagles Ridge is going to have another 94 units parcel put up, or apartment building put out there And they also got $3 million for from the city. So you're gonna have 52 at the Y, 94 at Eagles Ridge, and then they are moving forward with the 2nd and 3rd Street, right where the old 88 Tavern is that Hendricks owns. They're moving forward with that, and I think that one's 120 units. So you're gonna have a lot of rentals becoming available, and at least half of them are gonna be market rate, which is probably predominantly lower than what people are being charged to rent right now in the community. So, and they still think that that's not enough units for the amount of people that want to rent in the area.
They do have some set aside for each one, not a lot, like what, a dozen, the article said, for.
Handicapped and disability, elderly, okay. Yep. So that's all good stuff. They still feel that we're 400 units short in the community, which is crazy to think about. But then again, if you put something up for rent, how many calls are you, Trusty, how many calls are you getting when you put something up for $1,000 or $1,100, unit, you 30, 40 applications, so. Yep.
Are those houses in there, the Woodmans, are they gonna have basements? Cause they're getting pretty close to the quarry up there.
The ones that can will, the ones that can't, it's all hit and miss right there, yeah. So the goal is to have basements, yes. Yep. Let me make sure I'm catching all my notes. Blackhawk Boulevard. That's like one of the worst streets in the planet. They got a grant program. They're going to be redoing that street at some point from the DOT. So that will help us. Beloit's working on some more grant programs. They're ranked the 2nd worst streets in the entire state. I'm like, who's number 1? I want to beat number 1. But in the state, we were ranked the 2nd worst streets in the entire state. So they identified that's something they need to spend money on. Some other updates. Have you guys seen ABC Supply, their new training center they've been building?
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
It's huge. You don't even see it unless you look right. It's monstrous.
It's bigger than the office.
Yep. So that should be completed and finished pretty soon here. Morris Group, which is out, if you go past Frito-Lay and you're heading out towards the Gateway or industrial park out there, they're expanding. There's another large company going out in the Gateway as well. Pinnins Meats. They bought some land on Willowbrook, and they're going to have their main pin and meat section there with a strip center connected to both of that, or both sides of that. What else they got? Starbucks on Prairie. Everybody excited about that? So you got, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, a Starbucks, or Scooters. You got McDonald's, caffeinated corner there.
When's Woodman's coming over in that?
Right.
They had that big announcement, but those things take time. It'll be coming. Now people are kind of concerned that, there is a rumor that maybe the Woodman's on the west side is just going to be kind of like your distribution center or a storage area. I don't think that will happen, but who knows? I doubt that would happen. I mean, they got such a moneymaker on that west side over there that people that don't want to go to the east side of town. So, but kind of the cool thing, all these projects over in the next 24 months, if not sooner, which means there's a lot of, and the casino apparently just finalized details or their forms, which they are supposedly going forward with the whole hotel, spa, restaurants, chain, all the site plan that they finalized and said that this is what they're moving forward with looks really cool. We'll see if that happens, but it's getting closer, I guess. So a lot of cool things going on in Beloit. What's that?
Does it have water?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it does not have a water park. I'm sorry, but a big hotel.
The rest of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But we'll see. I mean, but even if that doesn't come, all these other projects, a lot of it is around housing, which is huge. So, yep.
That Hard Rock is gonna open.
I drove by it the other day. I go, whoa, that's huge.
Now
Yeah.
the city and the casino say that they're going to put 5% on the tickets.
Oh, tax.
Tax.
Usually people that gamble they don't care about that. they got
Just give me.
that's the least of their issues is the tax on that. So that's all I had for like updates. It's been a while. The 11th, please try to make it if you can. Any buyers, seller issues, problems upcoming?
Crickets.
Let me stop this because I got all you online. I'm going to get ready. I got one more thing to cover, but it's a secret. Anybody online got something they want to talk about?
We still have 4 minutes left.
Well, what would you like to talk about for the next 4 minutes, Carla?
Well, no, whatever your next topic was.
I will talk to you personally, okay? The 4 of you on here. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.